Casey and Sunshine Band were huge in the 70s with their funky, danceable hits. Here are their top 5 songs. Get Down Tonight from 1975. You know that song?
I'm going to
Do
stop
a little dance.
I know
Get
I'm going to
Down
stop
Tonight.
you. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you. If it's in the 70s, a name and a title is irrelevant. Was it remixed in today's 2025 hip hop, R&B, pop song where you're like, oh, I know that beat. It's from back in the day. No, it's so the young people can be like, oh, it's from 2025. So we don't need to go no further. So yeah, they're probably underrated, especially if they're being sampled to the young kids. So that's what I'm saying. I don't need no names. You just got to hum it like you did, and that's it. Keep it moving.
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready? Nope. For a long journey where our podcast released a new epi, searching for a fade fiend, new fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones, they gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, tap some friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talk your way to
Welcome in, everyone. We got Wednesday Madness with the ladies. Season 2, episode 106. Polly Pockets in the building. What's up, Polly?
I'm here.
It's pretty reckless to just shoot up in the sky, right?
It was angled. It was angled in the particular corner. So
do you know where it came down at?
Yeah, I got eyes on it.
Okay, all right, okay, good enough. Hey, let's get started. I want to start with something here. And I'm just kind of curious of your thoughts. We're going to start with relationships. Ooh.
Okay.
So Tiger Woods posting. This is what he posted. Love is in the air and life is better with you by my side. We look forward to our journey through life together. At this time, we would appreciate privacy for all those close to our hearts. So that was in reply because he is dating Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife, but he immediately asked for privacy. Did we need that? Did we need that post?
I think it's like an obligatory, let me tell you that I care about my privacy, even though privacy went out the window decades ago because it's non-existent. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known about all his relationships or extra ships. Yes. So it's a check the block like, hey, I did my job and I said that I want privacy, but nobody's going to get on privacy except not who he's with and who that person used to be with and everything, all the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 17 orders of effects that goes on there. So
it's hilarious. I'm going to say that his goal was to get ahead of it. Maybe there was some paparazzi. This is his way of dousing them, pouring water on the fire. Do you think that? I mean, you from the West Coast, your time in LA, you know a little something about paparazzi.
Yeah, there was absolutely no need for that. Like, he's not new to the scene. We know who he is. He's a golfer. We know where he's at these days. Again, it was completely okay. You said it, and when have the paparazzi ever respected privacy? And let's hear all the dozens, at this point, not dozens, hundreds, thousands of celebrities who have something to say about how privacy and paparazzi just don't mix. The only thing in common is the P.
Yeah. Just a few years ago, we had a little public outcry in Richmond, Virginia. There was a road and it was called Monument Avenue. And it had, to jog your memory, Richmond, Virginia was the capital of the Confederacy. Did you know that there were 2 White Houses in America?
I did know that, yes.
Yeah, the North had one and then the South. A lot of people were mad that people wanted those Confederate monuments to come down.
Mm-hmm.
But there also are a lot of people happy to go back and erase a lot of history of DEI, some people that have done some things in history. What's the difference?
So you still have relationships up. So I'm gonna draw an analogy to relationships.
Point of view.
No, I'm gonna start with relationships. Is just
Okay.
the same way as that it existed. Y'all were together at one point, and then what you do is like rip the pictures or delete them, depending on your generation, because you
Yeah.
think like physical proof, or at this point, not physical proof, but digital proof, and erasing that is going to erase the existence of a bad relationship or an
Yes.
ugly relationship, or insert the type of relationship like regretful relationship. So, nowadays, I think everyone just wants to be like, oh, we can just delete that, as if it's only applicable to one person. Like, I can delete my past, but there's people who are going to know about it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's just interesting because it goes on a lot of different, I guess, topics that you could theoretically, it's a means of convenience at this point. Like, what is convenient to my story and my history, or her story, because it is Women Wednesday, as you said. So our history, and it's still March, last I checked.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's a point of what's convenient and who wants to narrate the that story.
I want your point of view.
Okay, I'm allowed that right now.
I'm out on a date. I'm trying to impress this lady, right?
Is she fine?
She is on fire. Like everywhere she stepped, people are falling out of their seats. I swung and I hit a home run here. So I get to the table. We're at a really nice restaurant, and I've got a $100 glass of some, something that would impress her. When your date spills that drink, Polly, how should I react to that?
Well, the only reason you'd have $100 drink is if you came up in a Bugatti.
But you don't think I have one?
I'm just saying. So if you have one and your date spilled $100 drink, then that's the equivalent of like a, I guess $17 glass of wine. It's like, oh, it's okay, it happens. But if you spent all your money on that one drink, then you should go back to like financial literacy class, which I understand not everyone had as an upbringing. That's why I guess everybody has debt and doesn't know how to handle money, and thinks they know what fraud, waste, and abuse may look like. But in your case, I think you're going to have to have some lessons about what that $100 drink means to you in your life. And she better have been worth it. And hopefully she comes back for a second date. I don't know. Let us know. Or maybe not.
You make me want to go back and reassess my priorities. Thank you for that, Polly.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's why we're here.
I want to go to entertainment.
I'm here for it.
R. Kelly releases a residual remix with Chris Brown while he's incarcerated at a federal prison. I didn't know he was in North Carolina. What's your take on that?
I'm sad I haven't heard it yet. And he good, first of all, because the original is nice. I do like the original, but the remix, the Chris Brown version, you can just, listen. Is the R. Kelly version supposed to get us in the bed? Like, what are we doing with that? Is it to attract the older generation that grew up on R. Kelly? Because I don't think you're trying to bring in the new generation into that song. So, but why? Who needs the money? Who's benefiting?
I mean, he does. He needs those books tightened up while he's behind bars. That commissary's got to stay full.
I mean, at this point, what's his crime, and has he been pardoned yet?
Not yet, but
not yet. Okay.
we may there may be a change here.
Is he near Diddy? Are they okay? Like,
no, he's not near him.
Okay, do we know if they're okay? Proof of life. We forgot about Diddy. Okay,
there have been sightings, and I think this means that R. Kelly is okay.
Okay, fair enough. Gotcha.
He recorded it. It sounds like he recorded it while on a authorized phone call. It's Kind of
to his
funny.
lawyer.
Yeah.
Is not sports, entertainment lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty nice. Let's stay on. Well, I'm going to get your point of view on this. I want to get your point of view. Generation Z consumes the least amount of alcohol. What when you hear that, how does that hit you?
It's because they spend all their time on TikTok learning about why alcohol is bad or about the different types of alcohol. And they spent too much time learning about it or the concept of it that they don't have time to drink it, or they realize they don't want to be like millennials who can't handle a glass of wine after 10 p.m. because that's
but the glass of wine is $100 glass of wine.
No. Like, then what money does Gen Z? Well, and you know what? They're influencers, so they might have it, but they may spend it on all the face care that millennials didn't have because they were using like the same two products because there was no internet to look it up if you should be using that. Meanwhile, these kids have about, I don't know, 12 different items for your skincare routine, and that depends on the day of the week.
According to Statista, the boomers spend 25 billion, Generation X 23.1 billion, trending down. Millennials 23.4, so it spiked back up a little, and then it's a precipitous drop, 3.1 billion for Gen Z. That's a significant drop. I mean, from their closest generation, they are almost an eighth as the ratio.
Oh,
incredible.
It's easy why. Gen X and boomers, they either have generational wealth or they got money when you could make money. Millennials had to suffer through life pre and post internet, or I'm sorry, pre and during internet. So they know what it's like to have the start of cell phones, and they remember when you had an iPod with 1,000 songs and now your wrist has it should be billions at this point, billions of songs, whereas Gen Z is just, they're still in college. They're when is it end? 2014 is when it ends, so they might not even be out in college yet. So they're like, I just don't have even money for life, so why am I going to spend it on wine that's going to affect my healthcare routine? Because obviously priorities.
Yeah. Well, while we're on point of view, Polly, I just wanted to know, I've known you for a while. You've called into the radio show for a couple years here. I feel like you're a good friend, so I want to offer you a discount.
Okay.
With the prices of eggs, they've dropped recently.
They have.
And so I'm not going to need some backyard chickens that I have. So I wanted to see if I could give you a first chance at purchasing the pride of Monterrey, Mexico. Taco doodle doos. That's what I call them.
Chickens? I mean, I'm surprised you have even chickens alive. Didn't they all die from the bird flu?
See.
So
I had these in a bubble.
I don't trust your bubble. I don't know. Is it organic bubble? Is it it water based? Did it grow in water? Is it, air purifier? Like, what kind of bubble are we talking about? So I mean, I could say I have a bubble, it's invisible bubble, but I got a bubble. So something's protected against something, but no, I don't want your chickens. You can have them.
All right. Well, I just thought I'd offer.
Maybe I don't even eat eggs, so I'm the wrong customer.
I'm just trying to get rid of them, but I'll try somebody else. I appreciate it. I got a couple cousins I can reach out to.
At this point, you don't have to just be like, where's the bird flu, and just go over there, send them over there. Too soon?
Oh, I like your thinking.
Natural causes.
I'm not cutting you in on that, but thanks for the hookup. You're right. I need to relocate me and my chickens.
I don't want those
in need.
Anyway. You can have them.
Traffic in downtown Memphis came to a grinding halt last Monday after authorities say 5 men exited a car and began twerking in the center of a busy intersection. Polly Pockets, have you ever been to Memphis?
I have. Yes, I have.
What say you now about Memphis?
I think we just go for the barbecue.
Not the twerking?
I don't know. I mean, again, so first off, 5 people. Did they have space in the car, or was it a little tight that they had to loosen their hips after all that tight seating? Then they said, I can't stand you no more.
They went for
it. Was anybody there to catch the show besides cell phones? Like,
oh, somebody got that video.
Did they get a number? Did they get a phone number? And does it come with a Bugatti and $100 glass of wine or a barbecue? Let's get a priority straight first.
I mean, you do what you got to do if you can get some taco doodle-doos.
I don't think that's what they want. They want some kind of do-to-do.
I want to get your point of view on this. I feel like there's a guy and his name is Rich Rodriguez. He might have gone too far, but this is what he said. Look, we try to have a hard edge or whatever, and you're in there in your tights dancing on TikTok. Ain't quite the image of our program that I want. That's Rich Rodriguez. He's coach of West Virginia football, and he said he's banning his players from dancing on TikTok. Is that taking it too far?
So if they're making money off that dancing on TikTok, is he now affecting their income?
Oh,
is my question. Are they dancing derogatorily where they're affected? I mean, first of all, it's West Virginia. Who's following them anyway? But is their dancing negatively affecting their program overall? Or, I mean, it sounds like they're getting some attention, thanks to this TikTok dancing. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just have so many questions, again, but why? What do we get out of it? Can't he just focus on coaching? Maybe if he got them in the right condition, they don't need to spend all their energy dancing and they just be focusing on the field, and we'd know about West Virginia and their football team. Unless I'm off and they're actually like decent, but they're not, the Longhorns or anything. So
oh my gosh. We're sorry about that. Okay.
Remember, it's my point of view, not yours. So you can just caveat this that
fully understand.
Opinions expressed are not my own. They're Polly's.
So let's talk about privileged people. There is a lady, and she posted, y'all, I'm so mad. I thought I was doing something good as a big sister. My sister graduated and is now in college and working. I got her a car because she needed one. And this is what she told me. Am I wrong? Should I just give her the money? So she said, you bought me a smart car. And that smart car, I appreciate it, but it's too small. Can you return it and just give me the money? My friends can't fit in it. So then the sister who gave it to her says, I don't know if I can return it because I got it on Facebook Marketplace. You can try to sell it. And the sister that received it said yes. And then the sister that gave it said, don't ever ask me for shit again. You don't need friends to be in your car. You need it for school and work. I'm going to sell it and take the money back for myself and give it to someone who'd actually be grateful. Polly?
That's too toxic.
Who's right? Who's wrong?
Is she a big sister or she's the mom?
Big sister.
Right, but why is she acting like the mom? Just let her be. You bought a car off Facebook Marketplace, but like, hopefully it works. I mean, I don't know. Do we think she was like confident to vet the people and it was a good purchase? I don't know. Does it smell like drugs? Is it ripped? Does it actually work? Is it actually smart enough for her sister to go to school? I don't know. But yeah. I mean, they're both wrong because you can't give someone a gift and then get mad and be like, I'm taking it back and getting the money. And then the sister, just take it. I mean, it gets you from point A to B. It doesn't fit your friends, but do your friends have a car? At least you have a car. So, I mean, they're both wrong, but it is privilege because if someone gave me a car, I'll take it. I mean, if it's ugly, if it's small, does it get me from where I need to go? It accomplishes. And then what if I can flip it? Cool. But yeah, those are nice problems to have. Some of us don't even have a car. So yeah. I'll take it.
Talk a relationships.
The ships. Okay, let's go to the
This
ships.
is death by cheek.
These
A widow sues Vegas hotel after her husband dies during his last ride with an alleged prostitute. She says the hotel shouldn't allow the sex workers to roam free.
This isn't relationship. This is privilege. Let's go back to privilege.
Yeah.
So you think it's okay to sue a hotel where you decided to stay because your husband
she wasn't there.
Oh, we know.
Oh, okay.
We know. I mean, we know. And did she book him the hotel? Like, how does she know what hotel it's at? How does she know she shouldn't have left him? She should be sued for letting him go if she was so concerned about his health and all that jazz. But no, that's just ridiculous. Now, at this point, we just want to get money where we can fit in and pull that money out of.
Yes.
And it's not cheap, apparently.
Can a guy that's over 250 pounds be picky and say that he only wants a woman that's less than 175 pounds?
See, that's mean. That's mean of him because, okay, let me rephrase it.
Okay.
I'm just making so he wants to be picky about her.
Yes.
Okay. Now, maybe it's a 250 that's all muscle. I'm not gonna go. I'm like, okay, he's fit. He's a fit 250.
It's not. I've seen a picture of him.
I was trying to give him the benefit of a doubt.
Yeah.
So he wants some hot thing. Don't tell me he wants her young too, because they always want him young.
Yes.
But okay. So why, in the same scenario, would a 250-pound woman be allowed to say she wants a 175-pound man or 70, whatever pound man, right? Everyone would be like, oh, and it's all messed up because it's not fair. It's not fair.
Why does he not have the eye to judge that? It seems like he finds somebody, he's into her, and then he finds out, oh, you over 175, can't do it. Bro, you don't have the eye? You don't know what under 175 look like? You don't know what under 150 look like?
He's not privileged enough to see enough of that, clearly. Okay. But he's privileged enough to think that he's entitled to it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if he can't tell himself that he's not worthy of 175 or some fine, it's not even about the number. I'm sure he's looking for the looks. But anyway, there's so many layers wrong with that. No, he obviously doesn't know what he needs to fix about himself.
No, I don't.
No.
Entertainment.
I'm here.
Happy 85th birthday to Chuck Norris.
Yeah, it's Chuck Norris. Enough said. Oh. Next topic.
Yeah, because I want him to hear about it, and I don't want those problems.
I mean, Texas Rangers. Oh,
yeah. This one is relationships.
Sounds like questionship.
Xavier Worthy hired a private investigator, and he caught his fiancée, Tia Jones, cheating on him. He asked her to leave his house, and she refused for several days. Tia Jones put her hands on Worthy, scratching his face, pulling out his hair. He had some dreadlocks. And so Xavier Worthy calls the police. Xavier Worthy pressed no charges. Tia Jones pressed charges, and then Xavier Worthy gets arrested. Later, the DA dropped the case because Tia Jones lied to authorities that he hit her via video evidence. And that's how Xavier Worthy was able to clear his name. Polly, can you break that down for us? What happened there?
He was doing the right thing. He was protecting himself. He clearly needed the private investigator because something was sus. He is Xavier Worthy. He has money. He has means. And I'm sorry, but you just can't trust females out there, especially because a lot of them, what do they want? They just want the money grab.
Yep.
I mean, I would like to think that some of us are above it, but how many times in the stories do you see where, oh, divorce and she's getting all his money for doing what? just being his arm candy, and then I mean, there's not even going to go to names, but there's another one that like that relationship just needs to stop, because for the amount of times that individual has been seen with other people, like
Yes.
no, if you're a athlete who's high visibility, then you need to protect your assets. And at this point, I mean, that's what prenups are for, right? That's why we have these things where like, hey, I trust you, but not enough, because as much as you want to think people are good, no. Mm-mm. No, I'm all for go. I'm glad worthy. Good job.
Yeah. Got them Chargers dropped.
Yeah, he needs to.
Let's do some entertainment.
Okay, I'm ready.
Is Casey and the Sunshine Band underrated? So, Casey and Sunshine Band were huge in the 70s with their funky, danceable hits. Here are their top 5 songs. Get Down Tonight from 1975. You know that song?
I'm going to stop
you. Dance.
I know.
Get
I'm going to stop
tonight.
you. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you. If it's in the 70s, a name and a title is irrelevant. Was it remixed in today's 2025 hip hop, R&B, pop song where you're like, oh, I know that beat. It's from back in the day. No, it's so the young people can be like, oh, it's from 2025. So we don't need to go no further. So yeah, they're probably underrated, especially if they're being sampled to the young kids. So that's what I don't need no names. You just gotta hum it like you did, and that's it. Keep it moving.
What would you say if I said to you, I'm racist, but I need an organ. I need an organ, and it's coming from a minority. Do I take it?
I mean, I guess you don't value other lives. Do you value yours? I don't know. I mean, an organ is an organ, you would think, but you know what? He or she doesn't deserve it. Let it go to someone who's like, I just need an organ.
Pass. I'll wait for I'm good. I'm waiting for the next one.
Not he should pass. They should pass. Skip him on the list. Like known racist. Keep it moving. We're gonna have. Listen, if I'm dying, if I need help, I don't care. Just save my life. I don't have time to be like, oh well, I came from that person. I can't deal with that person. Like privilege. Yeah. They can afford to wait.
Point of view here. What do you do when the narrative is that you are too brash or too arrogant as you go into the NFL draft? How does a young person deal with that when the people that they're about to work with or have to deal with are intimidated?
Well, are they intimidated if they're calling him arrogant? Or are they just calling him out?
That's why people say that. I think that's where I go. That you clearly are intimidated by that person to just say that. And a lot of these people are saying it anonymously. They don't want to put their name to it, which is also a coward move. But
I don't know. I guess it could be that they're intimidated, but at the same time, or they're trying to realize like you need to humble yourself, college kid, and realize that you got to back it up and you haven't proven it. And okay, cool. You proved it in a couple of college games, but how many times have we seen stories like, oh, #1 draft pick, top quarterback, 2 years later, who was he? He was a top recruit. What year? Oh, he's not playing because he can't get a job. So no, I mean, if you talk the talk, you better walk the walk, but also know like the fall's gonna hurt and it's gonna last a long time, as in we won't remember you for a long time type of deal.
So you live in Texas.
Hook 'em.
March 30th, Selena's killer might get out. Polly, ain't no Latina going to work that day.
I mean, I think if you have a job, you should go to work that day. because
Nah,
there's
everybody
a lot
want to
of
be out there like this.
yeah, but you know, jobs are a rare commodity right now. So if you have a job, you better keep it. You better show up. Unless you have like put in some leave, take some time off. You know, hopefully you have that. But just it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You don't want to be
It's
jobless.
Selena.
You don't want to be jobless and in jail. I'm just saying, let somebody else handle it. You just said everybody's going to be out. Let somebody else handle it while you go to work, secure your position. We'll say privilege or opportunity, or, you know, be glad that you still have a place to go from 9 to 5 ish.
Yeah, I got a cousin I could probably send over there to handle that for me.
Exactly. It sounds like they're jobless. So yeah, let them do the deed for you.
I don't want to even call this relationship, but let's get your point of view. A man goes viral after he sends girls that stay over, he sends them home with a goodie bag. So the girl that posted this, she said, WTF, I couldn't wait to get to the car to post this shit. So I stayed at this dude's house, and before I left, he said, grab a bag. No, the fuck he didn't. So in the bag, so it's a Ziploc bag. It's a great value bag. No, it's a great value. That's the Walmart brand.
I know.
Written
Unfortunately,
off, it says, thanks for your time, send off bag. And in it, there's the little 1 ounce bag of Doritos, two $20 bills, a piece of bread. I can't tell if that's a full sandwich. There's a iced tea, half and half lemonade. It's Lipton brand. And then it looks like he's got some Garcia and Vega natural green. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the grab bag?
So
the goodie bag. Sorry.
All right, let's start. So she probably should have known what kind of night it was gonna be that she was gonna leave. Okay. Most likely, this is not his first rodeo, so he was prepared. Look, the bread, you got to soak up that liquor, right? Some carbs, soak up the remaining liquor. I don't think you want a sandwich that's been sitting out, okay? Be thankful for the bread. Hopefully, it's not stale. I mean, you know, great value. He had to save money because there's a lot of them, and he invested in some snacks and goodie bags. You know, we went with real Lipton. We had that, and then I mean, 1 ounce of Doritos, you know, we don't need a lot of those salty carbs in the morning. Like we could skip that.
Would you feel bad about the two $20 bills that are in there?
I'd take it. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. It's like, you know what? Gas money, breakfast, a meal, half a manicure. You know, because what if he just ordered food for you, left the house, ordered food for you, and said, hey, take it and leave it? Isn't that the same thing? So instead of him assuming what you want, here's some for your time. It's an interesting gesture. But again, if you're in that situation, you shouldn't be surprised. You should be like, oh man, thanks, cool. I've never gotten one of these before. And clearly she hasn't. No. And now the next generation can learn, like, you know, someone might be okay with that kind of stuff. I could put that on my. Are they still using Tinder? What's the thing today? Is it Tinder?
Yeah. People are still on Tinder
or whatever their dating app of choice. Just put it on and be like, hey, hang out with me, and you might walk away with this too. So
swipe now.
This could be yours. You can make $40 probably in less than an hour.
So some call him the R. He used to be part of a group, Eric B. and Rakim. Rakim tore down Carnegie Hall a few nights back in a tux with an orchestra.
Nice.
That's hip hop royalty. Are you impressed by that? I'm sure y'all got that Hollywood Bowl out there. You've seen some orchestras, right?
Yeah, and I think don't they do like hip hop jazz around here in Austin a couple times?
Yeah.
I think it's a cool twist because I think I am a fan of orchestra instruments, but you know that's mostly closely affiliated with like boring stuff, or people that are the older generations, or I think people just go and listen to and assume and pretend they really like it, but actually don't, and they think they need to be cultured. So why not? Especially if you have and I want to say younger, but kids, grandkids, whatever. Generations that didn't grow up on it but are surrounding themselves with it. It might not be something that they do often, of being like, oh, I didn't know you could do live music or have an orchestra for some hip hop, maybe throw in some rap too at some point. That's cool. It's a different twist on classics on both aspects. I'm for it. Why not?
I need your point of view here.
Let's do it.
Let's just say 6'9". She's
damn near fine.
Let's see what you did there. She's from the African continent. I didn't get the country. Some ex WNBA or pro player. She was giving mobility assistance to my lady, and my lady was on crutches at the Atlanta airport. I had the job to carry some bags and keep up. Now, I thought I was chasing a motorized vehicle. I was chasing that lady, taking like one stride. I'm taking like 3 strides. I felt like I was doing a 5K through the airport terminal, and I did not know I was going to be doing all that. I mean, I was in the Army. We always put the tall people in the back because we know they take them wide strides, and the short people get to go in the front. It's a controlled pace when you do it that way. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear nobody talking about women can't keep up when it comes to different things, because I guarantee you that lady, she could go on any ruck march and she would be just fine. What say you about Miss High Stepper and me having the scurry to keep up with her?
I mean, sounds like she gets the training every day for who knows how many hours a day and probably several years. So she's conditioned to it. She's like, all right, I got a mission. Plus, do you think she wants to be the reason somebody misses their plane?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no, I see that.
No, and I'm sure no. So, I'm sorry you have to go through that, but maybe next time if you have that, like, just wear your comfortable sneakers and maybe don't layer so many clothes on, and then just like check your bag, no carry-ons, so you can be like, ready, I'm ready, let's go, ready, set, go.
Holly, how did you know I had on layers?
Well, I mean, you got a pocket square, that's one layer, your blazer and your shirt, that's at least 3 right there.
Yeah, you know me well. Let's get to some current events.
Okay.
In a high security prison, a female warden got caught up in a secret affair with a smooth talking inmate who had a few skeletons in his closet, like being HIV positive. And in a shocking twist, he decided to share his little secret with her, turning their passionate romance into a death sentence. When she discovered the truth, she went from love-struck to enraged, leading to a confrontation that ended with the inmate taking a permanent dirt nap on the prison floor. As investigators try to unravel the mystery, the warden's dark secret came to light, exposing the illicit affair and its tragic consequences. Now she's facing murder charges and the shame of her forbidden love. Guess you could say their love was a real killer?
You can. I mean, how desperate was she?
Hey, he's in there working out every day. I mean, he might look really good, like buff. Polly, you like the muscles, don't you? You wouldn't turn it down.
Hold on.
Muscles, that is.
Hold on. She needs to go on Tinder, find that guy with the goodie bag and the $40. Probably would have been safer that way. At least there's some money for. Is that enough to cover a STD checkup or something right now? I mean, geez, like, I'm sure that they're smooth talkers, they're smooth criminals.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna get a little point of view with you here. In a remote Vietnamese town, parents put their children in plastic bags to cross a river to get to school. Parents do this to protect their children from the water so they can arrive dry and not wet, so they can have a perfect day at school. Literally, a big a big trash bag, tie it off, and they push them across.
Well, this is when our listeners might understand that in certain countries we have privilege called jackets, protective gear, or perhaps even transportation or sidewalks or something that protects us with. So, am I surprised, shocked? No, because I know of other countries where they have similar things. Like, but in that case, it's maybe the medical provider has to trek in these ridiculous conditions such as snow, cold
Yeah.
weather, to provide health care for a area that is otherwise ostracized, not by choice, but they just can't get out of that. So, hot topic of privilege, and some people just don't have the perspective that, you know, you watch that on social media, you're like, oh, that's ridiculous. Like, why would you send your kids? Well, at least the kids are going to school and they're getting an education. Whereas in
Yeah.
other places, people take education for granted because they're like, oh, education is XYZ. Okay. Again, at least you have the opportunity for education. So that's really what it comes down to. I don't know if you wanted me to give you a funny answer or not,
No,
but sometimes you just got
no.
to
No, sometimes we all need that perspective, to your point, to understand how good we have it and what others have to go through. Because that's the first I've ever heard of that. I even looked at the video and my heart just immediately opened up for those parents.
I mean,
doing
there are people who move countries, and by countries I mean move to the United States historically, because they don't want to experience ever again those type of conditions, and they don't want their children to experience those conditions.
Yeah.
And again, people forget that it's actually very difficult to uproot your life and move elsewhere, while others might think like, oh, these horrible people, they just want XYZ. But no, people are just really trying to survive make sure their family survives more than just their generation. So,
Mhm.
it's you sometimes need that perspective, that eye opening, that, hey, can you think about, first of all, think about someone other than yourself, and think about what it's like to be literally in their shoes. Like, I'm sure those shoes are wet and nasty. And have you ever had your shoes get wet from the rain,
Ugh.
even 2 minutes? Like, how nasty is that? And you want to come home and take it off. And thankfully, you probably have other shoes, other socks, or a heater, or a shower in your house.
Yeah.
So, point of view, we talk about point of view, but also like point of view of what it's like elsewhere and the other
Yeah.
side of the coin.
Let's see how knowledgeable you are, Polly Pockets. Dry or wet sauna? What's your preference?
Honestly, I like them both. I'll take them both.
So you knew that there were two types of sauna.
Yeah, don't ask me any science behind it. I do know that there's two types. Okay.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
going to give
yeah.
you that science.
Okay. Then I'm
The
ready
main
for it.
difference between a dry sauna and a wet sauna is the level of humidity. So a dry sauna uses heated rocks or an electric heater to warm the air.
Okay.
And that has low humidity, usually 10 to 20%. So that's going to produce intense dry heat. Those temperatures would be from 150 to 195. That promotes sweating and deep relaxation without moisture in the air. That's common in Finnish style saunas.
Okay.
Then there's the wet sauna or the steam room.
Steam room, yeah, US.
So you use a steam generator to produce high humidity, close to 100%. Temperatures are lower, typically only from 110 to 120, but it feels hotter due to the moisture. The air is thick with steam, making breathing feel different from a dry sauna. And that's often found in spas and gym locker rooms.
Yeah.
So you said your preference is the
No, I'll take either, because again, living in the States, it's not like you have a whole lot of options. Like on a cruise boat, you're gonna most likely have the dry.
Yeah.
But yes, if there is a gym that offers a functional sauna, I'll take it. Or if you're ended up in a hotel that's luxurious and they have something, they may have something different. So at this point, that's not something that I can be begging and choosing for. I have to take what it is, because again, first of all, who even wants to go? A lot of people don't want to go into that because, oh, my hair is going to be wet. I don't want that. because they think, oh, that's nasty. But yeah, it's for the culture.
Yeah, well, they both have benefits like relaxation, improved circulation, and muscle recovery. But a dry sauna is better for those who prefer intense heat, while a wet sauna is ideal for people who enjoy, as you mentioned, humid environments who don't mind their hair getting wet. You're going to sweat from both. But we're going to finish with one last item.
Okay.
Polly, if you rearrange the words in depression, you get I pressed on. Your current situation is not your final destination. How does that hit you? Instead of just letting depression be the way it is, you rearrange the words and you can say, I pressed on.
Okay. That's someone who had time and money to make up the signs to sell at Hobby Lobby. Okay. No one going through depression is taking the time to look at the words and be like, how can I rearrange this and make myself feel better about myself? Like maybe that's you find that in a therapist's office, but realistically, like, there's like another word, like if you arrange this, it's going to be so positive. Okay, but that requires me like think about it. And if you have depression, you probably have time to think about that, but that's not what you are trying to be thinking about. So cool story, bro, but keep it moving.
Polly Pockets, you always bring the fire, and I appreciate you coming out. Season 2, episode 106. We doing this thing. And Polly, thanks for talking with Donato.
All right, Donato. Until next time.